Massive breaking news coming out of the WrestleMania kickoff show, and legitimately, when I woke up today, this was not on my bingo cards. News was coming through that there was going to be a special Worlds Collide show. It was actually WrestleVotes earlier in the day that said that AAA were going to be doing a Worlds Collide with WWE. We kind of presumed that that would be at the NXT level. So this was big news that AAA, this massive Mexican promotion, I don't know if they're the biggest or the second biggest, but down in Mexico, you've got AAA and you've got CMLL. Those are the two big promotions. So the fact that WWE were going to be working with one of them was obviously very exciting. It suggested a very strong partnership. And so obviously then you're starting to think about, wow, you know, where's that going to lead? Well, we didn't have to wait long for our minds to be blown further, because on the WrestleMania kickoff show, the countdown show, they did this moment where we had Triple H, the AAA president. We had a lot of lucha talent like Rey Mysterio, Penta, Rey Fenix, Dragon Lee, Vikingo from AAA was there as well. And they dropped an absolute bombshell that when I say this is going to reverberate around the wrestling world, I am not exaggerating. They dropped the news that WWE has acquired AAA. They have purchased AAA. They own AAA. So they are working with them, and AAA is going to continue. But them acquiring AAA completely changes the game further, because now this isn't just a little temporary thing. This is permanent. This is what AAA has just potentially become, or what it has become, is now WWE's Mexican brand. That is now WWE's Mexican NXT, where amazing, world-class talent is going to rise up in Mexico, go into AAA as it always has, but then we're going to cherry pick that talent, bring it to NXT, use it in Royal Rumbles, actually use it and showcase it in places. And we're going to, that will be a feeder system. Now, WWE hasn't announced all of that side of it, but that is how it appears that this is going to work. So AAA is now going to be a very important cog in the kind of global landscape. And actually, it makes you think back to The Rock when he was sat there with that Rubik's Cube and he was wearing a New Japan shirt. Well, we did wonder, what have they bought New Japan? Are they making moves in Japan? And all of a sudden, bang, absolutely blindsided. No, but we have gone and bought one of the biggest promotions in Mexico, which all of a sudden now makes you think, is it that crazy that they could buy a big promotion in Japan? Could they go and buy Progress? Could they go and get Rev Pro? Like, could they go over to the UK? Could they buy, is it XWZ in Germany? Like, there are big promotions in Europe, in Japan, right? There are different promotions in Australia. There's big promotions that bring through talent. It's where, Duke Hudson came through. It's where Grayson Waller came through. It's where Rhea Ripley came through. It's where Zarya came through. It's where Indy Hartwell came through. So we've got promotions in Australia we could buy. Japan we could buy. Europe we could buy. Are we starting to see that sort of feeder system starting to grow? This is massive news. This is absolutely huge news. Absolutely huge. This changes things. All of a sudden, a lot of that talent now, they're not going to work with AEW. A lot of that talent is going to be cherry-picked and brought to WWE. This is not great news for AEW, who now are going to have limited access to AAA. There's going to be no working relationship with those guys anymore, because that is now a WWE-owned brand. So that door is closed. The only way they can get AAA talent is if that AAA talent comes to the end of their contract and they don't want to go to WWE. Then they could go to AEW. But listen, if you've got someone good in AAA, WWE are going to do everything they can to make sure that talent comes to NXT and make sure that talent comes to WWE. They're going to be able to sit down in a room with them and talk with them and get the deal sorted. So it's a lot like their kind of relationship with TNA. The only difference is WWE did not acquire TNA. They didn't purchase TNA. They may do. All of a sudden, now they've gone and done that with AAA. It doesn't seem that crazy, them buying TNA, actually. If they're going to go and do that in Mexico, it doesn't seem that bonkers that they would now go and purchase TNA. Maybe they don't want to do that because they've already got NXT. They've already got a presence at that level in America. Obviously, Raw, SmackDown, those brands are off on their own. They're making billion-dollar deals for those brands, but perhaps they're looking at TNA and they're like, well, we've already got NXT, which is obviously kind of ticking that box. But yeah, what does this mean for Japan? What does this mean for Europe? What does this mean for Australia? What does this mean for Asia? I don't know what goes kind of on in, say, Singapore or over in, I don't think we would do anything in China. I don't think there's much in India or Africa, but those would be markets that WWE would be very interested in getting a foothold in. So, yeah, this just changes the game, man. This just is mind-blowing news. So much so, I'm literally doing a WrestleMania stream right now, and I'm doing this video because it really is a massive talking point. So yeah, there'll be lots of reaction to this, lots of thoughts to do with this, but mind blowing.